Hi here, Finns here. I'm back for another video and today I am going to be talking about The X Factor, the band. Yes, the spin-off series of The X Factor we had this year. So yes, The X Factor, the band. Yes, I'm going to be talking about it, of what it is and why did it happen. So yes, this was a new spin-off series of The X Factor this year. It's basically, this format, the spin-off series of The X Factor, the band, was that Simon Cowell was looking for this new pop band to be the next sensation in the world. And they had to find a new boy band and a girl band, but only one of the bands were going to win. And they had to go through auditions and so until there were 6 members of a boy band and 6 members of a girl band, and then they had this live final and they had to compete, battle it out with each other, and the great British public had to vote for their winner, and whoever got the most votes wins and gets a record label from Simon Cowell. Now, if that format sounds familiar to you, of course it does, because it's the exact same show as Popstars The Arrivals back in 2002 when they found Girls Aloud. Yeah, I mean, for me, you could have just called it Popstars The Arrivals, because that's really what it is. It's the exact same show, modernised today, just with different judges. Just without Louis Walsh or Pete Woolman or Jerry Horner. Instead, it's now Simon Cowell, Nicole Scherzinger, and Leona Lewis. I don't know where Louis Walsh was. I don't think if he refused to do it or Simon just didn't want him. So yes, the X Factor, the band, only lasted a week. It was only filmed they only had 3 weeks to film and make up these 2 bands. And I think what I've heard from the rumours that it was actually a late-minute decision. I think there were rumours this year they were going to do an all-star X Factor, but that never happened. I don't know if they couldn't find the people to do it, or people turned it down, or Simon Cowell had a different decision to make. And ITV needed to do a show in its time slot, so they had to make something up, and they went for X Factor, the band. It is basically Popstars The Arrivals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Popstars The Arrivals was very good. It founded Girls Aloud, which had a good a career in the noughties, 7 years and 10 years really. That you renewed in 2012. So yes, but. It is exactly... I don't know why they called it... What was X Factor about it? They should have just called it Popstars The Arrivals. It would be less offensive, really. But, no. I mean, I did think, it did seem very rushed when I watched it. It was all over in a week, unlike, normal X Factor series where you have, 3 or 4 months of it. It was over in 1 week, which it seemed very fast. I think I have to say, I prefer X Factor the band to the celebrity series of X Factor, I have to say. And I do think, if this was, wasn't a late-minute decision for ITV or Simon Cowell or whatever, they could have had, took more, I don't know, more... They could have, I don't know, promote this more than the celebrity series, and they should have made this, out of the 2, this should have been the main, this should have been, the proper version, it shouldn't have been, it should have been, it should have, I would have lived without a celebrity version of The X Factor, because this version of The X Factor was much better, in my opinion, than the celebrity version. That being said, there were good things and bad things about the band version of the show. Now the first of it was quite rushed. This was only It only took like 3 weeks of filming, and it was very quick, and I think like if you're gonna find a new pop band, like a new boy band or a new girl band, you need like time. You need live shows. They need training. They need preparation, especially the young ones who are like 16 or 17, like who haven't had that much experience singing. They need like time to grow as a band. And I think it did seem very rushed to have like only one live show, and that was the final in a huge Wembley arena. It did seem very, very rushed, in my opinion. And unlike Popstars Rivals, which did last for very few weeks, and there were live shows, like people could eliminate or keep to save their favourite singers, and to each week singer goes home. It did seem very rushed, I have to say. I just think, if they had more time, then maybe they could have had like live shows on this. It did seem very. It did seem very rushed, in my opinion. But you know what? Actually, I do prefer it than the celebrity ones, because actually, at least the winners will have like. Oh, I don't know. Will they have a better career? Because actually, there's not been a lot of hype of X Factor, both the series this year, I have to say. I'm disappointed. We were expecting this spectacular celebrity series early in this year, and it was quite disappointing, I have to say. It's got the lowest. Each year, X Factor gets its lowest ratings. They just go down and down and down and down every single year, and it's so disappointing considering at the start of the decade 2010 was one of the best series of X Factor ever, and then in 2019 at the end of the decade it's like one of the worst. It's just, it is very sad. But yeah, I mean, the live final, it was okay. I mean, let's talk about the two bands. And spoiler, if you haven't watched X Factor Band, then watch it on ITV Hub or something like that. I'm not promoting that, but watch it on Catch Up. But the winners were the girl band, Real Like You. I'll never do that again. Sorry. The girl band, and I think they were deserved. I think out of the two bands, they were more polished. They looked a bit more professional. They had more. I felt like they had more confidence, and their song choices were more suited to them. I think, I think they had better chemistry and they worked well. I think the boy band, their song choices, they had that monkey song. Why would you sing the monkey song as a ballad? It didn't fit. Yeah, they did sing all their songs were ballads apart from that opening act, but yeah, I mean the girl band just looked like had more potential to them. I mean, their last song was actually very emotional, I have to say, the girls. You know, there was one of the singers wrote that song, all by her own. It was a very good song. Kelly, who reminded me a bit of like Tiffany from EastEnders, the ginger hair. It was very beautiful, and I love that they had that as their final song, and I think that's what won them over, really. Unwritten Rule, the boy band, they were good, but I just don't think they were good enough to win. And I'm happy, like the girl band, because I thought they, I was hoping the girl band would win, but I could have seen a scenario where the boy band could have won, because the girls might fancy the boys, but yeah, girls might want to be like the Real Like You girls, so. Yeah, I'm very happy for the girl band, but the question is, how long will they last? Because it has been, as I've said before, a rush process. This is the very last minute, they haven't had time performing live, is this actually going to really work, or are we just going to forget about it in the new year? Are they going to last until April, really? Or even March, I mean, I would like to think they will have some good hits, some good songs. They'll release an album. but I'm worried, like, are they gonna, how long are they gonna last for? But, you know, they're nice girls. I do see potential in them, but I don't think they're gonna be a phenomenal hit like Little Mix or Fifth Harmony or like any band like One Direction, really, because those are the three bands that all the judges were talking about. There was no talk about GLS or Raksu that the X Factor's bound or Jedward. But you know what? I'm happy for the girls. You know, I was happy. It was nice to see a little spin-off series of the X Factor. But let us may never have this version of the X Factor again, because it is really like a copy of Popstars The Rivals. But you know what? It was nice to have it. Do we want to see it again? Probably not. It was nice to have it for 1 year, but let's not have it for a second year. And I think at the end of the show, at the end of the final, Dermot said, like, the auditions are now open for next year's series of X Factor. So that's me thinking, I think they are going back to the original format of, like, the X Factor, just finding people to audition, going back to the original format, which I think I'm actually happy for, because I don't think we need another celebrity or a band version. I mean, there's so many changes to the X Factor they need. If they want high ratings, just go back to the good old days, go back to basics, just get rid of that 6-chair challenge, you know. Have 12 acts in the final, bring back the X Factor or an after-show. Like, if they're worried, like, they're going to clash with Strictly, or it's the battle between the Saturday night ratings, then simple, just put the X Factor on a Friday night then instead of a Saturday night. If you don't want your programme to clash with Strictly, or, you know, just put it on a Friday night, you know, like, make some time in the schedules, you know, put it on a Friday night, like, and just put it as one show, like, done, yeah, like. But yeah, you know, next year, there'll be new changes next year, like, there'll be a new judging lineup as we know it, there'll be a new round, you know, there'll be probably only 3 weeks of live shows, gosh, I'm done, and it's so sad from the X Factor, because I used to love the X Factor back in the day, but I do think it is dying a slow death, and it's not going to leave us until 2022, and we've got 3 more years left of it until it goes in its grave. But anyway, what do you think of X Factor? Like and subscribe this video, and comment down below. I will be back for another video very soon. Until then, have a great day, people. Goodbye.